All right, this is part two of this video. I want about my 1 year review of living in Atlanta. So let's just continue on and get right to it. If you've watched the cons video, then you'll know what's coming up next. Pros. These are the pros of me, my 1 year review of it, living in Atlanta. And just to be clear, I work in Atlanta, but I live in the Atlanta metro area. But let's get right to it. Please like and subscribe and share this with a friend if you know someone who's thinking about considering going to Atlanta. Maybe send them this video. So here's the pros. Cost of living. While it is getting expensive to live here, I still see the value in living here. So I do think you could still find a deal, especially when you get outside of Atlanta, in any of the Atlanta metros. I think there's a deal to be had for any budget. So I think that's a great thing, and so I would say it gets a check on the positive side for that. Moving right along, it's very family oriented. It's a place for all ages, but particularly family. Very strong family oriented place, which you don't get that. Growing up in the West Coast, I don't know. It just feels different. Like I grew up in California, moved to Portland, Oregon, moved from Portland, Oregon to Atlanta, and it's just been a complete culture shock. But Atlanta definitely has something special. I'll say that, especially when it comes to family and things like that. Job market here is great. I mean, it's becoming jack of all trades, really. You have your movie, TV, film industry, real estate industry is great here in all sectors, commercial, residential, tech, whatever industry you're looking for. I think Atlanta is a great market to be in for that. And there was a report that came out. I forget who. Oh man, totally slipped my mind. I should have looked it up. But there was a report that came out recently that said for college graduates, Atlanta is a great place to start off your career. Moving right along, weather. If you watch my cons video, you'll see that I had weather in the cons, but I'm also having weather in the pros section as well, because moving from the Pacific Northwest, you only get sunshine 3 months out of the year. Well, here, you get sunshine a lot more here than you do there. That being said, the weather, some people in the summer, they don't like the humidity and things of that nature. It did not bother me. I'm not saying it's like pleasant, but it definitely didn't bother me. So I put weather in the pros. Entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneur, I think Atlanta has a rhythm to it that is welcoming to people who are looking to grow a business, start a business, looking to. It just has an entrepreneurial spirit. I call it, Atlanta's like a hustler's paradise. And that could be, there's some negative things there too. People tend to scam a lot here, but I also think people tend to go after their dreams here too, which I appreciate. So there's an undercurrent of that here, which is, I respect the heart of an entrepreneur because I'm one myself. The creative scene is huge here. If you're creative, this is definitely a place to be. I mean, there's not very many places, I would say, for creative people that maybe that is the environment is ripe for that. Atlanta is definitely one of those places. There's only a few, right? You got LA, New York, Atlanta. Am I missing any others? I don't for creative people, maybe Chicago, I don't know. So that's just my thoughts. Atlanta is a great place on that scene. Pro business is very pro business. Like I said, going into the entrepreneur. If you're looking to start a business or you are very business savvy, this is a great place to be in for those reasons. So the school system here. This is for people with kids like myself. School systems are great. Obviously, there are areas where the schools are not so great, but for the most part, I think the state as a whole ranks pretty high when it comes to education. And I'm moving kind of fast through this list because I have a lot on the pros side, which I told you that on the cons video. So hopefully this makes up for anyone who was offended in my cons video. Diverse community. So there's a lot of diversity here in Georgia. I that was a shocker for me, if I'm being honest. And this is my just being ignorant growing up on the West Coast. You think it's just black and white, but no, it was actually an international city for sure. A lot of my coworkers have told me that because of the Olympics that was here back in the 90s, that after the Olympics, it became a very cultural, hub, and then the airport and so forth and so forth. It really put Atlanta on the map. So lots of diversity here, which is a beautiful thing. Lots to do here. When people say there's lots to do here, there is lots to do here. I mean, you just pick your poison. Whatever you want to do, it's it here. So I do like that. I enjoy it. I like to also, this is another pro, is the airport. You can get a direct flight to just about anywhere in the world. One of the busiest airports. So, I mean, for that reason alone, I don't think people here realize how good it is to have an airport that you can, not have to deal with the layover or anything like that. It's really nice. Sports. If you're a sports junkie, I wish I had more time to get into sports, but I not so much these days. But I do try and catch highlights every now and again. Great sports town if you're into that. I went to my first Hawks game. It was amazing. Completely different feel from going to like a Blazers game back in Portland, but it's great. And I heard hockey is coming here too. So if you're into that, I think that'll complete the whole. All those sports will be here after hockey's here, because they have the Braves with baseball, basketball, football, soccer, and then hockey. So if you're into sports, this is a great place to be. Music, the music scene is fantastic. Obviously, Atlanta has a rich history in that. So if you're into that, I think this is a great place to be. Most concerts come through here, I would say. Whereas when I lived in Portland, you didn't get a lot of big tickets up there. They always went to like Seattle or something like that. But for sure, Atlanta gets all the music. So, and the safety, I think is pretty big. I know Atlanta has some, and when I say Atlanta, I mean Atlanta Metro. I'm clowning the whole thing. I know people say, oh, you got to be careful going here and going there. I don't know. Maybe I have a broken meter or whatever, but I don't think it's an unsafe place. Obviously, don't be in certain areas and keep your head on the swivel. That's anywhere you go. So you should do that anyway. So I'm going to give it a pros for safety. And what else? Oh, and lastly, the people. Obviously, the people make the state and the rich history here, but the people have been so welcoming to me, even people I don't even know or just met. Southern hospitality is a real thing, and we've been able to assimilate in, and people welcomed us to Georgia just with open arms. And honestly, I've felt so much warmth here, living here in the last year, and it's a place that I'm going to be here for a while. So I love it. Family loves it. We're happy here. And I think it's a great place. I really do. So far, like I said, I've lived on both sides, and Georgia's got to be, it's pretty up there for me. So only thing I wish, if Georgia had the coast that was closer, or if Atlanta had the coast that was closer, it'd be a wrap. It'd be hard to compete with anything else. So anyways, that's my list. Hope that was not too bad. I hope it was good. And please continue to like. We typically talk about investing, particularly in real estate on this channel, but I wanted to take some time out since I'm on my year anniversary of being in living in Atlanta. So hopefully this gave you some insight. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.